Nosy Be, Madagascar. The following day, we awoke on the NCL Dawn Cruise Ship to calm weather as we cruised into Nosy Be, Madagascar. Nosy Be, which means Big Island, is a larger island off the northwest coast of Madagascar. This island is known for its famous lemurs, ylang-ylang plantations, and the largest city on the island, Hell-Ville. We arrived on time at 7 a.m., but this was a short stop as we only had 6 hours in this destination, with an all-aboard time at 2 p.m. Since this was a tender port, the ship was unable to dock directly and instead anchored offshore, dropping off passengers using a tender boat. Tendering to shore took over 30 minutes. Given the limited time we had, we quickly made our way onto shore. Once we arrived, we found many NCL reserved excursions for those who had booked in advance on the cruise, as well as a few private tours. We decided to do our own tour, so as soon as we'd reached the port, we quickly looked out for any private tour guides available. We negotiated to do a trip to Lemur Land to check out the lemurs, which are unique to Madagascar, and we also added a trip to check out Hell-Ville, which is the main town in Nosy Be. We ended up paying about $40 for transportation via tuk-tuk. As we left the port, we saw dozens of artists, artisans, and business owners selling their goods to cruise passengers, all with the NCL Dawn in the backdrop. Riding in the tuk-tuk was a highlight of my adventure as we got a sense of the everyday life on Nosy Be. We experienced the daily tuk-tuk traffic jams and watched people going about their day. We also quickly realized the dire poverty and hardships faced by the residents of this island. Lemur Land Park is located about 2.8 kilometers or less than 2 miles away from the port, and the trip lasted about 15 to 20 minutes. Once we arrived at the park, we found dozens of parked tuk-tuks and tourist cars as hundreds of passengers from the cruise had also made their way here. The entry to the park was 45,000 ariary or $10 US. The park was actually pretty amazing as the lemurs were everywhere and they were quite inquisitive, coming within feet of us. The cost of your ticket includes an English-speaking guide, so we spent a few hours seeing various types of lemurs as well as chameleons, giant tortoises, crocodiles, but lemurs were definitely the highlight of this park. After about 2 hours, we made our way back to check out Hell-Ville. Hell-Ville has an estimated 50,000 residents and is the largest city on the Nosy Be Island. Here you can stroll around, experience daily life, and shop for souvenirs. Visiting the main town is a highlight, and I recommend making time to visit, either on foot or via tuk-tuk. I also highly recommend you stopping by the main Hell-Ville market. The market is the center of Hell-Ville and is a must-see for experiencing Nosy Be's culture and business center. Here you will find more souvenirs and food, but please be mindful of your personal belongings. While the Malagasy people are generally not dangerous, Madagascar and Nosy Be is one of the poorest countries and places, and your mobile phone or camera might attract unwanted attention. As we made our way back to the cruise ship, our tuk-tuk driver gave us an extra tour of the small town. As we drove around Hell-Ville, we quickly noticed the low tide. During these low tides, you will notice that there are no beaches, but only long stretches of mudflats. By 1:30, we returned back to the port, hopped on to a tender, and got back on to the cruise ship. Shortly after, we set sail away from Nosy Be, making our only visit in Madagascar complete.